Well, each night at this time, we'll be doing a GNS. It's called the Good News segment. And there are good stories. And if you've got one, send it to alan@skynews.com.au. Let's start here. Look, I suppose you'd be forgiven for wondering why I'm speaking with a farmer in a Good News segment, because huge swathes of the country are still in drought. 65% of Queensland actually is still drought declared, and almost 90% of New South Wales is either in drought or drought affected. There was good rain earlier this year in the wake of the bushfires, but 2020 in many respects has been, my old man would say, a bloody nightmare. We started with drought and bushfires, then we went into heavy rain, and then the coronavirus. I spoke late last year with Jimmy Barton. He owns a property 15 kilometres west of coallabenebri in New South Wales. That's 80 k's north of Walgett, not far from the Queensland border. They'd been in drought for 5 years. Farmers were walking off the land. Worse still, some were wandering up the back paddock saying they'd fixed the fence. They never returned. It was all too much for them. The good news is they've had some rain. In fact, they've had more than 350 millimetres of rain this year, or that's 14 inches. So a reborn farmer, Jimmy Barton, joins us as our first good news story. No TV studios where Jimmy is. He's on the line. Jimmy, welcome.
How are you, Alan?
How
Good
are
to have
you?
you back.
I'm showing pictures here of green pastures. I'm going to crops in the ground. They're entirely different pictures from the ones we saw last year.
Oh, yeah, and the year before, and the year before that, a lot of years.
You've managed to get a crop in the ground.
Oh, yes. I told you I would, Alan. And we've done all that. But, you know, after I saw you down there in Sydney, we haven't had much more rain, but just the way we do things, you know, subsoil moisture and managing the moisture in the soil and that.
Yes, people think, Jimmy, don't they? My old man used to say this, it doesn't rain $10 bills. And people think when it rains, oh, it's fixed, it's all done, it's all fixed. But, I mean, what's life been like in the neck of the woods with all this coronavirus stuff?
Oh, that hasn't... I hear it on the news all the time. I get sick of hearing it, actually.
Yeah.
But it hasn't affected our lives out here. We still get up and go and put our crops in and do our cattle work and everything. And
what about down the road? Has the rain been widespread? I know you've had some, but what about up the road either way?
No, Alan, I feel a bit lucky right where we are. It has covered a fair area for rain, but you've only just got to go 40 k's to the west of us, and it's not much good.
No,
and I was talking to a friend in Queensland the other day, and we're not far from the Queensland border, and he said it's heartbreaking up there.
It is. Yeah, I've seen it. Dreadful stuff. Dreadful stuff. Well, Jimmy, good luck to you. We'll keep in touch, and to the family as well. And I just say to all our farmers out there, because we're broadcasting right across regional Australia, the country, they're watching tonight, and we're wishing you all the best. It's tough stuff, no fun on the land. So, Jimmy, we'll keep in touch. We wish all the farmers the best. Many still doing it tough. A lot of money was raised to help the victims of drought and bushfires, wasn't it? And many who suffered have not seen the money.